The upbringing started in 1940. I actually started working on the farm when I was about 6. My dad, he needed somebody to drive the tractor on the binder, and had one of the guys that worked in the shop put an extension on the tractor. That's how I got started. My first steer was when I was 9 years old. My biggest question in my mind was whether I was going to lead the steer or he was going to lead me. I wasn't a great athlete, but I loved to look at the statistics, see who hit the most home runs, the most triples, doubles, singles. So I always loved the numbers. I tried to keep records pretty early, but the real records started when I was at the University of Minnesota. It was right about that time that the Continental breeds started coming in. And of course they were bigger, they gained faster. Suddenly we realized, boy, we better start kicking up the gains on these cattle a little bit. That was also the first year of AHIR for the Angus breed. Might have been controversial for some. A number of fieldmen were not too much on board with all this record keeping. They felt that if you could judge at a show, that was good enough. And I mean, why change? Glenn Bratcher decided that if the Angus breed was going to be competitive with these other breeds, we better get on this program. He brought Dave Nichols down, and then of course Dwayne Penner was there, and then I was brought down there.
I keep written records of production in my herd in order to supplement the knowledge I already have. This helps me to make better decisions.
You had to do some soul searching back in those days. My first impression was, you better not goof this one up. She made this little trip to Choice on July 4th. 6 days later, we were married on December 27th. She turned out to be absolutely the best partner, best friend you could ever have. We went through life without having one single argument. When you're working together, working cattle, and then of course you got a couple of kids to raise, the fact is, if there's no stress in your marriage, that makes for a pretty good life. Well, the 80s were tough. We had seminars. I'll never forget Dawson A. Hall, who was head of the USDA, making the comment, "We don't care who raises the food and fiber, just so it's cheap." That wasn't exactly what people wanted to hear. And yet, it was during that period that several of our best animals were raised. The mathematician, he could subtract birth weight and he could add weaning and yearling weight. T510, one of his first sons was an objective. Objective being the number 9 bull all time for registered progeny. You just had to have a lot of perseverance to keep going. It was a surprise. I'd come home and there was a message on the phone that said Mark McCullough had called. I was really happy, and of course what I told him initially was, I hope I'm still around to receive it, because getting old enough, why, you never know. We have had a lot of really good board members over the years, a lot of good staff members. I'm going to give them a lot of the credit. You don't do it by yourself. Ruth deserves it just as much as I do. Without her, I wouldn't even be here today. She was very smart. If she made a suggestion, you better listen, because you just about always know it was right. We stuck with the Angus breed. We kept on. We persevered, and we still got the Angus cattle today, after 125 years on the farm. I guess my hope is that that's going to be the future.